facing a problem. Third culture kids tend to struggle with their sense of identity, which causes rootlessness and restlessness. Before going into details regarding rootlessness and restlessness, it is critical to discuss a brief background regarding the characteristics of what a third culture kid is. According to Pollock and Van Recken, a third culture kid is a person who has spent a significant part of his or her developmental years outside the parents' cultures while not having full ownership of any. Although elements from each culture are assimilated into the TCK's life experience, the sense of belonging is in relationship to others of similar background. Coined by John and Ruth Hill Useem in the 1950s after their visit in India, they have observed that the expatriates there have formed a lifestyle that was different from either their home or their host culture, but it was one they shared that in that setting. The term third culture came to be, as the Useems described, the adult's home as the first culture, and the host culture, where the family currently live, the second culture. Therefore, most TCKs, no matter where they grow up, have and follow some form of standard norms, principles, and values in life that is different from those of their home and host country. The idea of being raised in a genuinely cross-cultural world, however, should be further elaborated, as there are also those who live in intercultural communities, but are not considered TCKs. What then differentiates TCKs from those who have grown up in a locality with a diversity of culture is that the environment is relatively stable diversity. The child is not being chronically uprooted, and the unwritten rules for how the group coexist and relate to another are clearly defined in practice. TCKs not only have some sort of cultural differences of TCKs not only have to sort through cultural differences of each of their living situation, but they also have to sort through the entire cultural world they live in. According to Rogers and Steinfeld, interaction with those from different cultures is common among TCKs worldwide and is a network naturally caught at a young age because it is the environment that TCKs are immersed in. As for being raised in a highly mobile world, third culture kids experience transitions more often than others. While the mobility patterns vary widely among TCKs, most still face similar issues at one point or another. Non-TCKs will not have to relearn basic cultural practices and principles when they unpack their next home. Adults who move to another culture do not suffer through the same transitions as TCKs because they have already pretty much established their senses of their identity, their relationship with their family and friends, and their own sets of values that were long developed in their home culture. At young developmental age, children are still forming their senses of identity and belonging. Because major transitions occurred in their youth, this highly mobile culture has embedded in TCKs that it has become such a norm that carries on until most of their adulthood. Because TCKs experience many transitions in their lives, they have a sense of rootlessness and restlessness. Aside from the normal growing up parts of childhood and adolescent development, many TCKs also have to deal with unresolved grief from the constant transitional culture they grew up in. The two major issues that have affected many TCKs that carries over to adulthood are the challenges of rootlessness and restlessness. It is noted that for many TCKs, they find the question, where is home, one of the hardest questions to answer. Home implies an emotional place, a place one truly belongs. However, according to Pollock and Van Recken, it has been found that there is simply no real answer to that question for many TCKs. While many feel more home at one place or another, the emotional and physical concept of home still is quite uneasy and unsettled to many. There have been many TCKs who have eventually settled, either back in their passport country or another country, and built for themselves a home. However, it is a sad realization for the other third culture kids that while they have considered their host country their home, many have reached the realization that they could never really go back home. According to a journal article called Belonging, Identity, and Third Culture Kids by Helen Fail, Jeff Thompson, George Walker, it is noted that it is possible for third culture kids to either have multiple senses by Morgan Alexander Bittner. There are many TCKs who wish to settle down as soon as they are able to. Bittner in her research states that many TCKs reported the need to move every few years. Her research survey finds that while only 26% of the respondents have answered to have or worked or currently work in a job that requires extensive travel, about 43% convey the aspiration to do so. While they have not reached a majority, they still represent a significant percentage of the sample population, not to mention the general TCK population. Pollock and Van Recken have stated that many TCKs cultivate this migratory instinct that affects them throughout their lives. In an article from the Social Evolution and History Journal, the author Patrick Manning lists 6 reasons for migrating. Among those reasons, more than half of which explains why TCKs move. Because TCKs move during their childhood due to compulsion, in which the child was moved or carried off as unwilling immigrants, they grow up as TCKs who now move for individual benefit, which is the hope that their personal situation will improve, to bring benefit to their family, pleasure, which refers to the enjoyment of voyaging and learning of new cultures and ideas, and to preserve individual or family lifestyle, which is the hope to propagate or recreate lifestyle that is threatened. Here, where I am today, is temporary. This is a common thought that is somewhat instilled in a TCK's subconscious. According to Bushong, she finds that this migratory instinct have controlled the lives of a good number of TCKs because they can't settle down even when they want to. Many feel restless because they are drawn to the sense of adventure, which is brought by a life lived by exploring new ideas. Also, because many TCKs have yet to resolve their sense of rootlessness, they can hardly tackle this correlating issue, because in the end, she finds that the sense of rootlessness is in the heart of restlessness. A third culture kid is one or has been raised in a truly cross-cultural environment with a rate of mobility among those within that community. TCKs are globalized cultural chameleons with developed practical skills as they have spent a significant part of their developmental years outside of their parents' passport countries and cultures. Hence, it is understandable why rootlessness and restlessness are common challenges among them. In summary, the struggles of rootlessness and restlessness represent the internal factors of common problems among TCKs. The highly mobile environment that they grew up in, as well as their cross-cultural lifestyles, contributes to the external factors that adds identity crisis that many face, especially during their young adult years.
For those of you who are here for class, after a presentation, then we have several minutes of Q&A, so feel free to cue.
How does the TCK experience translate into a spiritual openness or devotion to God, who calls us to be citizens of His kingdom instead of conforming to the patterns of the world?
That's an interesting question because that's something that I'm battling with. I have been thinking about that, especially when I'm doing my research regarding missionary kids, because that's somewhat my focus. However, there hasn't been a lot of extensive research regarding that issue. Even like the whole topic of missionary kids and identity formation, it's a fairly new topic and not a lot of people touch base on it. They touch base on it more about like third culture kids. But not all third culture kids are missionary kids, which is why like I can't answer that question in a third culture kid's point of view.
Master's thesis. There you go, Sonny. Go for your graduate degree. You got to top it.
No.
Sonny, not everyone in the room knows you or your background. If you could touch on that for a moment and then just share a little bit about what brought you to this topic and, like you said, the things that you have struggled with.
Well, like I said, when people ask me where I'm from, where is home, my heart literally stops for a second because I don't know if I have to say the whole story or I have to just shorten it or, do a little bit of a white lie. But my name is Sunny Lee, and I'm an international student at
did your research, Sunny, come up with any ways that a parent can help speak into the identity of their children?
Yeah, so this is actually my first part of my thesis. It's actually going to introduce my second part of the thesis, which is going to be more focused on missionary kids. And in that section, I talk a lot about how parents, like the role of the parents affect the identity formation and what some ways parents can handle well in order for a missionary kid to form their identity well. I mean, obviously adolescents, when they form their identity, they're just as messy as we are, to be honest. But we have like a lot more other factors around that, just adolescent development, which is why like we're more messed up, I guess. Okay.
Would you consider home a place or consider home like being with people? Because I'm also like a third culture kid. Like I was born and raised in Australia, but my whole family's from Denmark.
Oh, cool.
But then when people ask me when I'm traveling, they're like, oh, would you consider yourself Danish or Australian? And then I would say I would consider myself anything that I need to be, but my family is my home. So wherever they are, that's my home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, would you consider a home a place or with people?
I definitely consider home with people. Because my parents are right now back at Thailand, I consider that place my home. But if they were to retire and move back to Korea, then I would go to Korea and live there with them as well. But that's my home.
Did you find any research that what percentage of these BCKs end up perhaps choosing a place for their adult lives and not moving because they want so much to counter what they experience?
I haven't found like specific numbers, but there are cases like that. Especially because it's third culture kids, they want to experience like their home, they want to fully experience either their home culture or like host culture, so they tend to like you said, choose one place and stay. However, they still feel restless, so that's why they travel a lot more and they move around, as in like they travel to another country and come back, and there's a lot of that.
Good, thank you, Sunny.